opening comment, maybe talk about this game a little bit, and then I'm sure everyone's going to talk about the success you built up over the years, maybe touch on that as well, and then we'll open up to questions.
Yeah, okay. I mean, obviously we wanted to get off to a fast start. We thought we had the advantage with just experience and you know, we thought we were better than they were in special teams. So, you know, there was a few areas I thought we had a big advantage, and you know, we capitalized on those. Obviously, didn't run a lot of offensive plays. You know, hit a lot of short fields after interceptions and punt returns and so forth. So the game kind of snowballed pretty fast, and I mean, wasn't exactly what we expected for sure. But our kids played well, and we were happy about that. We had a goal this week to come over here and play really well, because I told these guys they deserved to play well in this game, because you know we've been over here a lot of times, obviously, and there's been some times we just haven't played well, and it's been a struggle. So yeah, I was happy that you know we were able to just kind of put our best foot forward in front of the football guys across the state.
To the point you just made, I was going to ask you anyway, do you feel like people in Ohio got to see Marion local at its very best today?
You know, I mean, we played well in a lot of different areas, and you know, I think we take pride in our special teams, you know, and I'm not sure everyone does that, you know, and you know, we take pride in our defense, you know, so you know, I think we played pretty well, yeah.
Coach Goodwin, you don't so time to start kind of press. Parker has set the tone for the contest with a 3-yard touchdown run and brought unbelievable energy to your Chargers. At that point, did it allow you guys to really relax and settle in based on the experience of winning 15 championships, now 16?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of touch on that, like when you're calling plays, like there's a big difference between, you know, the running game's working, you know, and then everything is open, because, you know, you can do whatever you want on first and 10, and, you know, if it doesn't hit in second and 10, you feel confident you got 2 downs to get 10 yards. So I think, you know, just the overall run game, once we kind of establish that, and I would say more so, you know, like, you're watching these teams on film, they're playing teams that you've never really went against, and so you're just making conjectures on, you know, how certain matchups will go. But once you kind of see it live, it's like, all right, we can run the ball against these guys, so that just makes calling plays a lot easier, and I think it, you know, loosens everyone up, especially, you know, in the passing game and so forth.
If we start with Kyle and then work through the seniors, has it kind of set in yet what today brings? I mean, 64 games, no other senior class has ever done that. 64-0, 4 state championships. Has that set in yet of what this class has done?
Not really yet. I mean, just feels weird that the season's over. We won't get to play another season of football together ever again.
Yeah, just like Kyle said, I mean, it kind of sucks that we can't play another game of football, but I mean, as a player, that's kind of what you want, leaving the season. 4 state championships, 64 now. I mean, there's nothing better that you could ask for.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I'm sure here in a few days I'll be sitting there in class and watching a little bit of film because it's fun. And then I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, yep, that was a great time.
It'll kick in on the bus ride home, probably. More like, close to home.
Tim, during the teleconference this week, you kind of mentioned the fact that, you know, you'd probably be that you might be a little emotional, you know, coming out of this game. I mean, you've had some great classes, some great teams over the years, but just talk about this group, you know, going and doing what they've done, you know, and earning their way up, because a lot of you guys had to wait for other great players ahead of them to graduate to get to where they're at today.
Yeah, these guys did have to wait. You know, for as talented as they were, there was only a couple of them. Kyle, Adam Winter, and Victor played a little bit as sophomores, but everyone else, it was strictly Sparky played a little bit as a sophomore here and there. But yeah, not that much for how good they are. So yeah, they had to wait their turn, and they were pretty lights out at JV level 2 years ago. But the coaches noticed this class. I mean, not for its athleticism or anything like that. We just noticed that, like, watch this class. Like, if we're watching film at 8, these guys are going to be there at 7:30 just because they like hanging out together. And you just notice things like that. And this class is just different. We've never had a class that would do things like that. So, yeah, we're going to miss them.
Justin, you had a rushing touchdown late in the first half, a 60-yard rushing TD as part of a really great ground game. I believe 8 rushing touchdowns were scored today. And Victor, you also had a punt return for a TD. Victor, what did you see what did you see on that punt return? And Justin, what did you see on your long TD run?
I really haven't been running the ball in the past couple of games due to an injury, and I mean, I was sitting there trying to beg the coaches to let me run one last time. And then when they said that the play, I just started running out with a smile, and then you guys did a great job blocking. I read the seam and just ran, and then scored.
Yeah, it helps with the blockers on the punt return. I mean, I just see the seam and just turn the burners on and to the crib. About it.
Hey, Vic, we were talking about special teams.
Yeah.
Your special teams were so special today when you caught the ball and you looked up and you saw that wall just seal off the whole side of the field. What went through your mind when you said, boy, this is really open?
Yeah, same thing. I'm just trying to get to the end zone, get us up early. Yeah, it was awesome. Special teams touchdown.
Were you surprised, though, to see it that well executed?
No, I mean, that's how we do it in practice. I mean, that's just how we practice. That's how it should be done. And, yeah.
Play like you practice.
Yep.
Just as much as, a lot of credit goes to the guys, the backs like Parker and Ethan, Drew, and Victor and yourself. Just talk about how much the line is just built for you guys to do what you do best all season and all career.
Yeah, I'd say our line. I mean, they just grind in practice. I mean, I look over and I'm just taking 3-step drop, and I see them pushing a sled. I'm just like, that looks like it sucks. Like they push themselves very hard to do what they do, and yeah, it's just really nice running behind those guys because I know if I run the ball, there's going to be a seam somewhere to cut.
Real quick. One of the things I've learned about Marion Local over the years is that there are many brothers who have played under your tutelage and have won multiple championships. What does it mean for these next generation of Flyers to win yet another championship and be able to sit at the table with their families and say that we are state champions under your tutelage?
Yeah, well, I hope it means a lot, and I hope it motivates the younger guys, to want to do it for themselves. Certainly, an extra 6 weeks of practice, doesn't hurt things either. So, and we work with those guys every day. So we're hoping, that they're going to take it and run with it. But yeah, I think there were 7 sets of brothers on this year's team. So it's kind of neat. And for you stats buffs out there, I'd be curious. Victor had a punt return for a touchdown last year in this game. Has anyone ever done it 2 different years? I would be curious on that stat.
Kyle, kind of follow up what I asked.
Somebody look into that.
Ask Justin, talk about how's it feel to see the line do what you guys do to help get the offense going.
I mean, obviously, every day in practice, we're going against our scout team, which a lot of those guys on that team could play for other teams in our area, play for other teams throughout the state, and then just opening up the holes and seeing the back score, celebrating with the end zone, that just feels so rewarding after every drive.
For Justin, you mentioned that your class is not lost in your 4-year career. Just the legacy that your class is leaving behind, how proud are you of it, and maybe what are your emotions of it now that it's over?
Like I said earlier, I mean, there's nothing that an athlete, a football player would want in going undefeated throughout their high school. I mean, you got to thank the older guys that did that before us, so that we could keep the tradition going, undefeated. And I mean, it's just something special that you'll never forget.
Coach,
64 wins is obviously very impressive. There's now a huge target on your guys' back heading into next season. Is there any, really big teams that you're looking to schedule with to make some really big time games here in the state in the next coming seasons?
We'll worry about that when it happens. We have an open week 1 right now, so we'll see what happens. I'm not really worried about that, to be honest with you, like scheduling whatever, or like we have big games in our league all the time, and we have plenty of those. But yeah, we'll schedule, whoever we can find that's in the best interest of Marion local football.
Tim, given the outcome of today's game, a lot of people look back on that Minster game, it was 21-7, and say, now, see, that was the state championship game. And I wondered maybe if you could maybe speak a little bit about competition in the league, and particularly the kind of year the Minster had.
Oh yeah, and I said it right after we played them. There's been a lot of teams worse than them that won state titles, in this state, because I've seen it, and we were, some of my teams weren't as good as that Minster team this year. So it was fun because you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys lost 1 game, and that was 8th grade to Minster, right? Am I right? So they were undefeated as 7th graders, lost 1 game to Minster in 8th grade, and then so for a long time we've known, that was going to be a battle, and it was fun.
A lot of people question how much you don't show throughout the year or throughout the playoffs, just so when you get here today, you have that 53rd and 54th card up your sleeve.
We practice a lot, and we're always adding stuff and tinkering, so that's part of the fun. And I kind of told the coaches, when it was pretty obvious what was going down, I was like, all right, have some fun here, let it rip, and but there were still a couple of things I was like, I don't think we should do that. That wouldn't be sportsmanlike at this point. So yeah, but that's part of the fun. We're always learning, always putting new stuff in, always tweaking.
Coach Goodwin, the run that your team has constructed over years is kind of reminiscent of former boxing heavyweight champion Joe Louis in his 12-year reign as heavyweight champion. Would it be safe to say that your Flyer program is the Joe Louis of Division VII football, based on Louis's 12-year reign as a champion?
When did Joe Louis box? What years are we talking about?
1937 and 1949, he was the heavyweight champion 12 years in a row. Would it be safe to say that your program is kind of like in that caliber, based on the dominance over the last decade?
I'm more of a Muhammad Ali kind of generation. I don't really know much about Joe Louis. I'll have to ask my dad. He was probably watching those fights. I don't know.
Mike Tyson guy too?
I liked Iron Mike. I didn't like him like a month ago because I stayed up until 12:30 and I watched that.
How have you been able to maintain the standard?
The standard is the standard, and that's my job. It's not always fun to hold the line on the standard. That's my job.
Okay, everybody good here? Congratulations, guys.